excuse the noise, I've got the fan heater on, and because I'm very efficient, I've got the doors wide open behind you. We are back in the shed. It's Monday morning, Monday the whatever of October. I'm in the shed nice and early because we have a new project coming today, which belongs to Uncle Steve. Shouldn't have done that pre-morning coffee. So yes, there is a new project coming today, and that'll be in the next section of this video. So yes, I just thought I'd do a little introduction. Yesterday, me, Mick and Vince went down to Industry and Supply in Weedon, and very nice it was too. Met the owner Nigel, really nice, brilliant staff. Love the atmosphere of it and how it's all decked out with all the memorabilia, the motorbiking stuff and the Land Rovering stuff and the hot rodding stuff and all that lot, and tractoring stuff, and yes, we all like tractor. So yeah, lovely place to go, nice ride out. It's about 25 miles from here, so it's about the same as going, say, the Welcome Cafe at Melton Mowbray or something like that. It reminded me a bit of a much larger version of Gilks. Same sort of atmosphere. The only problem we found with Gilks when we went is there's nothing wrong with the premises. There was a car day on when we went, and it was evening, and there was like a 40-minute wait for food, which you expect at smaller establishments. So yeah, that's where we went. Unfortunately, I met Mick and Vince on the High Cross lay-by up on the A5 where the Fossway joins. And I had charged the other GoPro, which I do all the talkie shit through, overnight, made sure the charging light were on and everything, and then when I turned it on, when I got there, it come up with low battery. So that's about the 11 to 1200th time that's failed. I have got 3 batteries for it, but even the battery charger is a little bit funny. You'll put the batteries in it, and like they'll all be on red, and then literally a second later they'll all be on green. So I think there is a problem perhaps with the batteries. Might just be worth me investing in some, because I am now getting decent audio through that with my microphonic setup up. So anyway, nibbler ran well, really did run well. Tiny little drop of oil come out when I come back home, but I think it's still blowing out the excess, to be honest. But no, it went really well. The heated grips were brilliant. Hello. Right, lack of lighting in the shed at the moment, because as you know, we've just had the roof done, and I think the idea is we're going to insulate the roof. Just got to wait for some wood to dry out. So I haven't got any good lighting in here at the minute. I'm literally relying on a daylight. I do have a work light, but it's down on the floor. So anyway, the reveal of the next project. I was going to be all artistic, set the camera up to film me opening the doors and wheeling the project in, but it's raining, so that idea went to bollock. So instead, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take you off the stand, and I know you can't see it, and then I'm going to cover the lens up, and then I'm going to show you the back. Are you ready? There he is. It is a 1987, I'm inclined to say, Honda VFR400R NC24. Now the NC21 came out before it, and that was basically a miniature VFR 750. Pretty much almost an exact miniature copy. The NC24 came out afterwards, and the biggest change was let me take you round, a rather sexy first introduction of the single-sided swinger. And a lovely thing it is. This is the first introduction of the Pro Arm. I'm not sure whether an NSR of the same year had the Pro Arm yet, but the VFR was definitely one of the first. Anyway, this is Uncle Steve's. He bought it off something like Facebook Marketplace. Right, the bodywork is just laid on it to show you at the moment. It's cable tied in place. I've had a couple of these and an NC30, and they're cracking little things. It is a Japanese home market bike, which means basically most Japanese 400s are about 40 horsepower, 45 horsepower. If it was a UK bike, i.e. an NC30, the later bike, it would be 60 horsepower. Now, a lot of grey imports were imported into Europe, legally as part of the model range, and Southern Ireland got a lot of bikes we didn't get, like GSXR400s, etc. I'm not sure whether they got this. Not sure at all. I don't think they did. But this is it. So let's have a quick walk around. So, I believe that's an aluminium frame. I'm not sure. You can put me right, but I'm sure that's an Ali spar frame. Lovely little cracking little legendary Honda V4. Bomb-proof. Absolutely bomb-proof. You've really got to go some to knacker one of those engines up. Only through absolute severe abuse do they generally go majorly wrong. Otherwise, fine. It is a 1980s Honda, so needs a new screen. But we've got twin floaty discs up the front, conventional forkage. There's no ram air or anything like that, but this is the intake for the airbox area. There's an intake either side. Period Honda clockage, fuse box there, dead easy to get to. Yes, we've got a battery coming today, and it's a bloody good job because the one that's in it is dead. It was sold as a runner, or it ran when I parked it up, mate. One of those. So we'll suss that out. I have a box of bits over here. Spare set of carby tinkles, the calipers and everything are in there, airbox and gubbins and all that lot. There is also, it did have quite a lot of wedge spent at it, and the last bill, 700 and, is that an 87 quid, and the list is, there's all sorts, mainly to do with brakes. Basically, carb clean, carb strip the brakes, put all new piston seals in and all that lot. And that came to, I'm going to sit my fat ass down, and look at that beautiful swing arm. And that came to like 700 odd quid. But fully enough, when Uncle Steve had a look through the bike when he got it, he noticed half the job that had actually been billed had not been done. Yes, I'd feel the same way too. So he got in touch with, he inspected the calipers and all this lot, and they definitely didn't have new piston seals and all this. So that's the job I've got to do. So he got in touch with the bike shop, and and delicately put the situation that you have billed a customer for all this work, and yet none of it is evident. To which headless chicken scenario developed. The manager came out and went, we've found all the parts on the shelf. So Uncle Stephen came to an arrangement where he obtained those parts. Anyway, that's by the by. But it's a good little history story to go with the bike. So what else can I tell you about it? Yeah, remote adjusted rear suspension, the shock and linkages and stuff, and the swing, probably not the swing arm, but the shock and linkages I'll probably have to take out, clean and grease. The chain and sprockets look good. It just needs a good clean, and you know I'm not brilliant at that, but you know, it's amazing what brake clean can do. So there's no leaks. Don't know if there's oil or anything like that in it. So let me get some bodywork off, and I will bring you back. But this is, can you guess its name? Charlie. Or, well, for the time being it's being called Charlie because it's white and addictive. Well, I'm guessing that's why. I don't know. I honestly don't know. No. Do excuse the noise behind us. I do have a small fan heater going just to take the nip out of the air, because to get some lighting until I get my proper lighting riggage sorted out, which I might do this weekend, I'm having to have the doors open. Hi Nibs, hi Nibsy. Oh look, there's Phyllis hiding. Yes, they're out in the wet while we do this, which I don't mind at all, because when I work on a motorcycle or anything in here, I do like a clear space, so everything that can be moved and rolled back in again gets shoved out. That's just standard practice. Anyway, let's have a closer look. It's Japanese spec motorbike, so we do have an oil cooler up the top here. Halogen headlights. All these connectors are all undone because obviously the fairing's been off. But it's quite simple, right way uppy forkies. Standard Japanese old brake splittage. I think we will be putting braided lines on this because they do really benefit from a braided line. I can remember my 24 always had really spongy brakes, and I did the master cylinder. I'd put braided lines on it, I put all new pistons and stuff in the calipers, and it was still spongy. Whether it was just a character of that particular bike, I don't know. But my friend at the time had a beautiful Rothmans replica. In fact, I'm going to put a picture up. Ready? Clear canvas, picture. 5-second pause. There we go. How's that for professional editing? And his always had pin sharp brakes, so I don't know what happened there. Maybe, you know, one of them could have had a different master cylinder or something like that. Manual chokage. 4 Charby Tinkles. I'm not sure which make or anything like that. I'm just showing you the basics of the bike. Your coil packs there. The front cylinder is basically, until you take like the radiator off or something like that, I got very, very good at swinging the rad out of the way without having to drain the coolant, because to do front spark plugs, anything on that front cylinder, you need ratchet knuckles. The rear cylinder, really well at Jim, that's not even English. Come on. Oh yeah, another thing, it is a single coil per cylinder. So you've got 2 coils there, 2 coils there. These are for the rear, obviously. Yes, Jim, that's why they're at the back. Coolant reservoir. Not sure of the state of the coolant. We haven't even looked. Main loom connections and packs there. That is the crankcase breather coming off the rear cylinder only, and this is your fuel feed to the carbs. That is what's it? Come on, Jim, use your big words. It is an overflow for underneath the tank, because it's got a little catch cup there, and I think there's a vent hose goes on the end here. We might need to be buying some hosage. This is expected. It was bought as a project bike, so until you really get into it, you don't know what's going on. But yeah, access to the rear cylinder, really good. Rear plugs, and it's tiny. It's so small, but it is beautiful. It is an absolute jewel. We need throttle cables, and we're going to put a clutch cable on it. Oh, while we're here, let's there's an air intake that goes in here and goes into this frame part here and feeds the airbox, but you have to remove it to check coolage situation, so we'll do that now. Right, what's the gambling? Do you think there's any in it? I can't see without putting a light down there. I don't think there's a massive amount in it, but a little drop did come off the cap, but we will obviously check that. I've got a funny feeling there ain't a lot in it. Anyway, oh, Jim, come on. There we go. I've still got morning hands. That's not an excuse, man. like I say, round the back, different from the NC30, is that this has that style light, where the NC30 went to tail lights in there and the normal massive Honda indicators. The exhaust is also on the other side on the NC24. It moved to that side on the NC30 because it then doesn't foul the rear wheel. Battery, starter solenoid. That's where your toolkit used to go, and on these Honda V4s a really good thing is you have your oil filler up here, but you have a dipstick on there. So let's see if there's any oil in it. I do apologise for the terrible camera work, but you know, you don't expect anything less these days, really, do you? Oh look, thermostat, Jim. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, there is oil in it. As far as we know, it did recently have an oil and filter change. So we'll see. I do believe, I'm going to have to read an online handbook, but I do believe these models never had a main stand, nor did the NC30, nor did, I don't think the 2021 did either, I'm not sure, but these definitely didn't. And I think the oil level can actually be checked with the bike on the side stand, not level. I'm going to have to double check that. So that is your introduction to Charlie. So we'll be working through this, and on the next video, once I've verified there is actually oil in it, and we'll do a little toppage-uppage of the coolant with just some distilled water, although I have got some sexy coolant there, but we'll put sexy coolant in when we know it's good. I'm going to attempt to fire him up, because these V4s make a very unique noise. It's like part Ducati, part inline 4, and it's very, very good. So that, folks, is your introduction to Charlie the VFR. And yes, there'll be a playlist. So yes, I did say there was another Japanese little 400 coming, but we're not going to mention the other one for obvious reasons. So this is it. So the next stage on Charlie is the next video. We're going to get the fairings off, get the bike nicked, and then double check, because it was sold as a runner, so I'm going to take that with a pinch of salt, but we'll check the fluid levels, we'll properly check the oil. I'll probably get it up on the arbor stand so it's nice and level, hand gesture, nice and level, and then, well, we'll just see if it barks off. We have got a battery coming for it today, so the next part of the video will be later in the week. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, cock, and all that, but thank you to my patrons, all very generous. Nice. So yeah, we'll wrap that one up as professional as ever. So yeah, so that's your introduction. Let's see where it takes us.